Next on WoodSongs, we're on the road to Buffalo Trace with the legendary Joan Osborne.
If you need a girl beside you to supply the love you need, I'll give you satisfaction, and all my work is guaranteed. If you want someone to love you, take your hand and be your guide.
The television broadcast of WoodSongs Old-Time Radio Hour is made possible in part by the Lexington Convention and Visitors Bureau, providing information to families, conventions and vacationers to visit the horse farms, bourbon trails and music of Lexington and Central Kentucky. Online at visitlex.com. C.F. Martin and Company, makers of handcrafted American-made Martin guitars since 1833. American Recordable Media, manufacturing CDs, DVD, and more for independent artists worldwide. Insight Communications, providers of cable, telephone, high-definition television, and broadband internet service.
Here on the Louisiana Hayride, his name is Hank Williams, the drifting cowboy.
On the Grand Ole Opry, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys.
Hi, this is Bruce Hornsby.
Hi, this is Kevin Moe.
Hey folks, this is Bela Fleck.
Hi folks, this is Sam Bush.
Hello, this is Odetta.
This is Joan Baez, and you're listening to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And now, gather the family around and sit back in your easy chair. It's time again for the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour, our worldwide celebration of grassroots music. Let's welcome folk singer, author, and tree hugger, Michael Jonathan.
This is one of the arias of the Woody Guthrie opera. It's a part of the opera where Woody Guthrie is asked what he believes in a world that's at war and global economic meltdowns and climatic changes all over the United States. And he thinks about it. And this is his musical answer. I believe in redemption. I believe in the truth. I believe there's a moment when all that is good comes shining through. And I believe in transitions. I believe change is good. It's the steady confusion of life that transforms us from old into new. And I believe nothing could be so fine as love and forgiveness and mercy divine. And I believe nothing could be so fine as love and forgiveness and mercy divine. And I believe in remorse, that forgiveness is truth, and nothing else matters except for the love between me and you. nothing could be so fine as love and forgiveness and mercy divine, as love and forgiveness and mercy divine. And welcome to the historic grounds of the Buffalo Trace Distillery here in Frankfort, Kentucky, where we're broadcasting our second of two special event broadcasts that are celebrating artists and music from Kentucky. And we are so enjoying the beautiful evening air on the rolling green hills of the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, and such a wonderful reception, wonderful audience, wonderful grounds. And we have our second of a very special broadcast with an extremely important artist to us. We've been waiting so long to have her on the show. She is a Kentucky girl, New Yorker now, and from a small hamlet outside of Louisville called Anchorage. She's as home on the WoodSongs stage as she is on the Grand Ole Opry, touring with the Dead, singing with Pavarotti, or so many other wonderful artists have found her voice to be absolutely amazing and special. But she got her start 3 o'clock in the morning in a little club in New York. And she was dared after several drinks. Oddly enough, we're at Buffalo Trace Distillery. After several drinks, they dared her to get up on stage at an open mic night, and she sang a song by this artist named Billie Holiday.
Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own.
She sang this song by Billie Holiday 3 o'clock in the morning on a dare in this little club, and it launched a global career. She's got a brand new album out right now called Bring It On Home, and this is a song off that album called I'm Qualified. Please welcome the absolutely wonderful Joan Osborne to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
If you need a girl beside you to supply the love you need, I'll give you satisfaction, and all my work is guaranteed. If you want someone to love you, take your hand and be your guide. Oh, I'm qualified. Take a chance with me, baby. If you want someone to cry to, I'll wipe away your tears. If you need someone to lie to, I'll be glad to lend an ear. If you're looking for somebody to stand by your side, oh, I'm qualified. Take a chance with me, baby. I'm qualified, I'm qualified. Come on and take a chance with me, baby. I'm qualified, I'm qualified. Come on and take a chance with me, baby. I ain't much on matrimony. All I know is what I've heard. But I'll gladly chance it, darling, if you only say the word. If you want someone to play with, take your hand and be your guide. Oh, I'm qualified. Take a chance with me, baby. chance with me, baby. I'm qualified. I'm qualified. Come on and take a chance with me, baby. Say I'm qualified. I'm qualified. Come on and take a chance with me, baby. I'm qualified. I'm qualified. Come on and take a chance with me, baby. Oh, oh, oh.
From her new CD, Bring It On Home, brand new. I'm Qualified is a song off that album. Joan, it's nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you guys for inviting me out here. It's wonderful to be home.
We've been wanting you. This is home. Kentucky is home for you originally.
That's
and,
right. I'm a Kentucky girl.
And when did you move to New York? You went to New York to learn film, right?
I did. I moved there to go to college at NYU and study filmmaking, and actually thought I was going to become a documentary filmmaker, but as you said before, and sort of fate handed me a little bit of a left turn, and I ended up doing this instead.
Can you describe that early morning? It was like 3 a.m, and you were probably
It was
with
3 o'clock in the morning, baby.
So what was going on that early morning, and
Well,
that brought you up on stage?
I mean, I'm a huge Billie Holiday fan, and I guess there weren't that many people in the place at that point, and my friend who was daring me said that he would buy the rest of the drinks if I went up and sang. So, being the broke college student that I was, it seemed like a pretty good deal to me. So,
well, let's go ahead and hear a little bit of "God Bless the Child," the version of Joan Osborne.
All right.
Can you give us a
sure.
couple minutes of it?
Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Your mama may have, and your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own.
Yeah. Joan Osborne on her own. And she's got a new CD called Bring It On Home. It's a wonderful album. This is a tune off that album called I Wanna Be Loved. It's Joan Osborne on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio Hour.
The spark in your eye sets my soul on fire. Your voice like angels above. The touch of your hand drives me insane. But baby, I want to be loved. Wanna be loved. Wanna be loved. Baby, I want to be loved. Wanna be loved. Wanna be loved. Baby, I want to be loved. Crazy about every little thing you do. Cherish the way you hug. Your kiss is so sweet, you just can't be beat. But baby, I want to be loved. Wanna be loved. Wanna be loved. Baby, I want to be loved. Wanna be loved. Wanna be loved. Baby, I want to be loved. Every time I ask you for a date, you don't come at all, or you're mighty late. I ask you to dance one little spin. You say, wait a minute, mommy, here come my friends. here. Come, my friends. I love the way you walk when you're passing by, even when you try to snub. It kills me every time you give me the eye. But baby, I want to be loved. Wanna be loved, wanna be loved. Baby, I want to be loved. Wanna be loved, wanna be loved. Baby, I want to be loved. Wanna be loved, wanna be loved. Say, baby, I wanna be loved. Wanna be loved, wanna be loved. Say, baby, I want to be loved. Thank you.
Joan Osborne from her CD, Bring It On Home. Let's give some props to the guitar player Andrew Carrillo, playing beautiful guitar work tonight. On drums, Mr. Aaron Gomez. Sort of in tribute to the name of her record label, Womanly Hips, we're going to go into another song off of her new album. This is called Shake Your Hips. It's Joan Osborne on the WoodSongs. That's right, a beautiful one.
I wanna tell you about a dance. It's been going around. Everybody's doing it, from the grown-ups down. Ain't gotta move your head, ain't gotta move your hands, ain't gotta move your lips. Just shake your hips and do the hip shake, baby. Do the hip shake, baby. Shake your hips, baby. Shake your hips, baby. Well, if you don't know, don't you be no afraid. Just listen to me, do what I say. Don't you move your head, don't you move your hands, don't you move your lips. Just shake your hips and do the hip shake, baby. Do the hip shake, baby. Shake your hips, baby. Shake your hips, baby. Well, ain't that easy now? Met a little girl in a country town. She said, what do you know? There's Slim Harpo. She didn't move her head, she didn't move her hands, she didn't move her lips, just shook her hips and did the hip shake, baby. Do the hip shake, baby. Shake your hips, baby. Shake your hips, baby. Well, ain't that easy now?
rock and roll. Joan Osborne, she has a brand new album called Bring It On Home. That's a song from that album, Shake Your Hips. Now, so Joan, what was music like when you were a little girl? When you were in the house, in the home, was music part of the family? Did mom and dad sing? Where did your voice come from?
Well, my parents actually met when they were singing in the church choir. That's how they met. So I think, genetically speaking, I was probably pre-programmed for this career in some way. And I remember we used to have one of those big old console stereos, and it sat close to a wall in our house. And if you opened the door to the console stereo, it made a little box right next to the big speaker. So I used to sit in that little box with the door closed in my own little private world and listen to records. And we had things like the soundtrack to the Sound of Music movie and some Partridge Family records and classical music and stuff like that. And just whatever I could get my hands on, I would learn to sing it and learn all the different parts. And I loved to just sit there for hours and hours and do that.
Was there an aha moment for you when you belted something out and stopped and thought to yourself, I'm pretty good?
I don't think as a child I really had any conception of that. I just figured, well, everybody can sing. And I did have a music teacher at Anchorage Public School, a woman named Carolyn Browning, who was very encouraging to me, and she would single me out for things in the choir, and she took me to a couple of singing contests, and was really, I think, gave me a sense of myself as somebody who had something special, although I don't think I really paid much attention to it as a kid. I was
Still
running around and, playing with my brothers and sisters and stuff.
Still got to give it up for a good teacher, a good music teacher.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Cares enough for her students to do what she did for you, right?
She sure did. I think I learned a lot about harmony singing, and she had us do some fairly complex pieces at that time, so I think I learned a lot about that from her.
I wonder if later on, at 3 o'clock in the morning at that little club in New York, if you thought about your music teacher way in the back of your mind as you got on that stage for the first time. That must have been a little scary for you.
Yeah, I think, I'm not normally a very exhibitionistic person. I'm usually a fairly shy person, so that was an unusual circumstance, but I'm happy that it happened.
Well, we're happy it happened. We're happy that you're here on our stage and being part of the WoodSongs broadcast. She's got a new album out called Bring It On Home. It's an absolutely wonderful album. This is a song off the album called Champagne and Wine. It's Joan Osborne on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Sitting here thinking about the times I wronged different men that I have known. Of all those men that I have met, you're the one man that I can't forget. We had our times now, good and bad now. I can't forget them, and I sure ain't gonna forget them, no. Remember Side Street, where we used to meet, making love, nobody but you and me. Champagne and wine, it's what you're gonna get. Champagne and wine, it's what it's gonna be. Just as long, boy, as you see about me, I'm gonna be knocking on your door. I want the same love that I had before. You're a man now, a full-grown man. You got me eating from the tip of your hand, yeah. I don't mind eating, long as you feed me good love and good old sympathy. Champagne and wine, it's what it's gonna be. gonna be just like Sunday. Every night you're gonna have stars up in the sky. Oh, I'm giving you champagne and wine. I'm gonna give it to you all the time. Ooh, wee, baby, champagne and wine. Oh, na 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 na. I really do love you, baby. I really do need you, honey. I really do want you, baby. Oh, champagne and wine.
Champagne and Wine from her new album, Bring It On Home. We're spending the entire hour with Joan Osborne. In the second half hour, we're going to talk more about her music, her career, songs from her new album, and we're going to hear her sing the song that catapulted her to worldwide fame. And we're going to talk to her about what that was like, one of the biggest songs of the 1990s. We'll be back right after this.
Jones, and you're listening to folk singer Michael Jonathan and the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And there's Miss Nora Jones. She was one of the many artists that is on WoodSongs. We celebrate independent and grassroots music on our broadcast, going worldwide on over 509 radio stations. And we want to welcome a brand new affiliate that's airing this show with Joan Osborne for the entire hour. Let's say hello to the new listeners in Delmarva Public Radio, NPR News at 90.7 in Salisbury, Maryland, a beautiful radio station. If you want to send me an email, we'd love to hear from you. My email address is very simple. It's michael@woodsongs.com. She's got a brand new album. It's called Bring It On Home. It's a wonderful piece of work. If you love her voice, you'll love this album. This is a tune called Game of Love. It's Joan Osborne on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio.
You got that certain little something that really turns me on. You can make me do right, or you can make me do wrong. If you really mean I'm the best thing you've ever found, you can prove it by being true and never playing around. But just like you can cheat on me, I can cheat on you. There's no rule that says a game of love can't be played by two. You can go shopping in the street, trying to bargain upon something new. But what's out there for you men is out there for us women too. Like a dog that prowls around and it licks his bone. If the shoe don't fit the size, honey, why keep trying it on? Just like you can cheat on me, I can cheat on you. There's no rule that says a game of love can't be played by two. Like the old saying, a give and take, you're never too old to learn. If you start to putting your hand in fire, you know you're gonna get burned. But if you wanna do unto me like I do unto you, then there's no chance that this romance could ever be broken into. Just like you can cheat on me, I can cheat on you. There's no rule that says a game of love can't be played by two. Come on. Times, but somehow I pull through. But the stakes on love are just too high for me to gamble with you. I'm not trying to play hard to get, but I want you to understand. If you wanna do right, woman, you got to be a do right man. Just like you can cheat on me, I can cheat on you. There's no rule, this is a game of love. Can't be played by two. Can't be played, can't be played, can't be played by two. Can't be played, can't be played, can't be played by two. Can't be played, can't be played, can't be played by two. Can't be played, can't be played, can't be played by two.
Joan Osborne, The Game of Love. Andrew Carrillo playing a wonderful guitar through that whole thing. Good job there, Andrew. So, how did the record deal happen? You were putting albums out on your own, and all of a sudden a major label comes a-calling? How did the deal happen for you?
Well, I think, by the time record companies started hearing about me, I had sort of graduated from playing in New York City. At one point, I was playing 5 nights a week in the clubs in New York, and I started branching out to places like Philadelphia, D.C., Burlington, Vermont, Schenectady, New York, and just a lot of other towns that I could get to in an 8 or 10 hour van ride. It sort of became a regional thing, and people started to hear about me. And, I think that the record companies were like, oh, well, if she can do this on her own, then maybe we can swoop in and make some real money here.
Well, was it a scary thing for you to take that step? I mean, you were happening at a time that, Tracy Chapman was happening, Suzanne Vega was happening,
Yeah.
Tori Amos was happening, Ani DeFranco was doing it on her own, much like you were doing at the time. Was it a difficult thing to become unindependent and sign with a label?
Well, I think I always was excited to see how far I could take it and to see how large of an audience I could reach. I mean, when I first was able to quit my day job of being a receptionist and actually make enough money to support myself doing music, that actually I think was a harder step for me to just sort of decide that I was going to follow this path as far as it would take me. And once I made that choice, then all the other decisions were really just about, let's see how far we can go with this and see what we can make out of this.
Well, it was your second album that rattled and shook your world completely. They put one album out, and it was the second one that just popped the cork. So we're going to talk about that at length as we get through the album, through the hour. But right now you've got a brand new album of all these wonderful blues and soul songs that you're performing absolutely beautifully on our stage. This is a tune called You're Welcome. It's Joan Osborne on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
Oh, it's my heart, it's just that away. Just as welcome, boy, as the flowers in May. I say you're welcome, boy. I mean you're welcome, child, you are welcome. Just a little bit of coffee and a little milk. It will go down as smooth as silk. I say you're welcome, child. I mean you're welcome, boy, you are welcome. Just a little bit of bacon and a little egg. It will fill up shallow lake. I say you're welcome, boy. I mean you're welcome, child, you are welcome. Just a little bit of butter and a little bread. We might as well go back to bed. I say you're welcome, boy. I mean you're welcome, child, you are welcome. I say you're welcome, boy. I mean you're welcome, say you are welcome.
Joan Osborne and the lost art of whistling. It's true. Not too many artists whistle these days. I mean,
yeah, well, it's kind of a risk to do it in a live situation because you never know if your pucker is going to be wet enough.
Well, you've done real good.
Why,
real
thank
good.
you.
We're building towards the song that changed everything. And when the album Relish came out. Did your desire to be a filmmaker assist you in your vision for the music videos? Because your music videos in the 90s were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. Thanks.
Especially St. Teresa. I mean, that's an awesome music video.
Thank you.
Computer graphics sort of ahead of their time. The heart-beating strawberry. I mean, all of it. So was this your filmmaking background? Did you have a lot of input on those clips?
Well, actually, I was lucky enough to be able to direct the St. Teresa video, and I definitely think my background in studying film and European film directors that I admired, I got a lot of ideas for it from surrealist imagery and stuff that I thought would be really fitting for the song because it's a bit of a dreamlike logic in the song, and also even the One of Us video, there was a lot of footage that they took. Or rather a little bit of footage that they took down at Coney Island, and we're using a little bit of it in the video. And to me, that was just the most beautiful part of what they had. And I was like, put less shots of me in there and more shots of the Coney Island boardwalk and the wonderful, people that are down there. And it just was so atmospheric and so happening.
Well, it looked like a lot of fun to make because it's a joy to watch, and you could sort of tell that there had to be a lot of you in control of what was going on with your filmmaking background because it definitely had an artist point of view to it.
Well, thanks. I think I was more like the person who stands next to the director on that one and has a lot of ideas, which the director kind of will tolerate a little bit, and then, that's fine, and then kind of go and do what they want to do.
We certainly have a spectacular artist on our stage, a wonderful audience, and here is a great song called Rhymes from her new album, Bring It On Home. It's Joan Osborne on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio.
Last night, the night before, 25 robbers at my door. I got up to let them in, but I missed them all with a rolling pin. And they took everything I own, like a queen without a throne. But I can't let it get me down, no. Change my smile into a frown. I can't let it get me down. Change my smile into a frown. I can't let it get me down. Little Sally Walker sitting in a saucer. Be in bed like I know you oughta. Now it's time for love again. I'm pain and a frown and finally grin. Oh, they took everything on, like a queen down from the throne. But I can't let it get me down, no. Change my smile into a frown, no. I can't let it get me down. Change my smile into a frown. I can't let it get me down. Change my smile into a frown. Oh, no. Oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. All is fair in love and war. What do you think we're here for? Tell 'em about the righteous one. There's no cause and there's no fun. Oh, it'll never happen again. Gotta bust your way in. But I can't let it get me down, no, no. Change my smile into a frown. I can't let it get me down. Change my smile into a frown. I can't let it get me down. Change my smile into a frown. Oh, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, oh. Said I can't let it get me down, no. Change my smile into a frown. I can't let it, I can't let it, I can't let it get me down, no, 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 no.
It's a song called Rhymes from her brand new CD, Bring It On Home. Joan Osborne on our stage, the pride of Anchorage, Kentucky, right outside of Louisville. Here we are at WoodSongs at the Buffalo Trace Distillery grounds in Frankfort, Kentucky, broadcasting worldwide. You became a mom.
Yes, I did.
2004, a little girl. I got a little girl. And that certainly changes your feeling about things like careers and stuff, doesn't it? Your
Yeah.
whole outlook on life, but even careers in music and traveling and touring. So how does being a mom affect you?
Well, I think as an artist, I think it kind of did a couple of things for me. I think it opened up a whole other, access to my emotional life that I didn't really know existed. And I mean, I thought I was somebody whose emotions were on my sleeve all the time. So it really surprised me that there was even further and even more that I had going on. And so I think that's a wonderful thing to have as an artist, to be able to feel more deeply. And I think it also kind of made me more disciplined, because when you're a parent and you've got like 2 hours when your kid is napping to get everything done that you need to do for that whole day, then you sit down and you do it. And I think I was more of a procrastinator before then, and be like, oh yeah, I have this song idea, but I think I'll go to the cafe and sit and have a coffee or something. There's no option to do that when you're a parent.
And those 2 hours become very precious after a while,
yes.
don't they? Now, this happened about a dozen years or so after this global, huge, monster, life-changing song for you. And what was that rocket ship-like ride? Did it happen as soon as the single was released, or was it a slow build?
No, it took a long time. I think the record was out for 8 or 9 months before any radio stations even started playing the single, and then one station started playing it and got a good reaction, and then other stations around there took notice and decided they would try it, and kind of as things today go viral, it sort of went viral in that way.
Yeah, were you prepared, mentally, emotionally prepared for the sheer weight of the fame and the power that song had? I mean, that was worldwide.
No, I don't think there's anything that can prepare you for something like that. I mean, in a way, it's sort of like parenthood. I mean, if, as a parent, you can try to explain what it's like to somebody who doesn't have kids, right, but it's just impossible to explain. So I think it's the same kind of thing. There's really no way to prepare yourself.
Well, the brilliance of the song certainly speaks for itself, and Joan's going to perform it for us in a very unique manner. Of course, Aaron Comes is on drums, and Andrew Carrillo is going to perform it on acoustic guitar. This is the song. It's called One of Us, Joan Osborne, on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
If God had a name, what would it be, and would you call it to his face? If you were faced with him in all his glory, what would you ask if you had just one question? And yeah, God is great. Yeah, God is good. Yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home. If God had a face, what would it look like, and would you want to see? If seeing meant that you would have to believe in things like heaven and in Jesus and the saints and all the prophets. And yeah, God is great. Yeah, God is good. Yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home. Just trying to make his way home. God is so good, What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home. Just trying to make his way home. Back up to heaven all alone. Nobody calling on the phone. Just trying to make his way. Just trying to make his way. Just trying to make his way home.
Aaron Comas on drums, Andrew Carrillo on guitar, beautiful acoustic guitar work, Joan Osborne from her CD Relish, One of Us. And you know, she said something halfway through the show that I think is still a powerful thing. We have such a need for teachers that are going to take the time and inspire like Joan's teacher did for her. You know, if that teacher hadn't done that, there may not have been a huge hit like One of Us, because this budding film student in New York at 3 o'clock in the morning may never have gotten to stand up on that stage on a dare. And yet look at what happens when those little seeds are planted. We are living in a world of great potential. Those seeds are everywhere. There's great teachers everywhere that needs to be encouraged and supported. Music and art needs to stay in the schools. The public needs to get behind what these music and art teachers are doing. And more than that, all of you out there that has your 3 chords in the truth, that you play a little guitar or a little piano or a little bit of poetry, whatever your art might be, I want you to take it and I want you to put a little program together of 4 or 5 songs and go to an elementary school, and I want you to sing for the reason that Joan Osborne talked about, for the love of it. Music and art's first passion is love. And that's why we do this show. All volunteer run, and we're so glad to be able to bring it to you out there in Radio Land. My name is Michael Jonathan. I'm a folk singer. I'm a log cabin dweller, and we'll see you next week on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio. Good night.
You've been listening to WoodSongs broadcast number 675. Michael's opening song was an aria from the Woody Guthrie opera called Belief, available on Poet Man Records, featuring Uni Troy on cello and Paul Reich on bass.
Our chief engineer is Kevin Darth Vader.
Thank you for tuning in. There are so many talented artists that appear on our stage. It's very hard sometimes to pick the ones that appear on our TV broadcast. So what we're going to do is leave you with a performance from our huge online archive of past shows. We'll see you next time on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Oh dear, out here, everybody stumbles on fear. Who cares if we're scared? Everyone is on their own. It's only you that my heart desires. Only you alone can break my fall. I pace the floor and I wish for more, while you were dreaming with your paper dolls. Now you can cut me free. Now you can cut me free. Forever say goodbye. Forever say goodbye. Or we'll be holding hands and go on together, you and I forever. Heartbreaks, mistakes, catching up to me in all the ways. I've known of hard days and my share of lonely nights. It's only you that my heart desires. Only you alone can know my pain. All along you are sitting there, folding pages for your paper chain. Now you can cut me free. Now you can cut me free.
The television broadcast of WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour is made possible in part by the Lexington Convention and Visitors Bureau, providing information to families, conventions, and vacationers to visit the horse farms, bourbon trails, and music of Lexington and Central Kentucky. Online at visitlex.com. C.F. Martin and Company, makers of handcrafted American-made Martin guitars since 1833. American Recordable Media, manufacturing CDs, DVD, and more for independent artists worldwide. Insight Communications, providers of cable, telephone, high-definition television, and broadband internet service.